an agreement between the two parties. And so,
right.
if someone gets picked up by the feds or anyone, and if they go through the process of syntaxing the potential that which appears to be a contract, and if the contract isn't syntaxed properly, then it gets ruled out, because that he creates and has a patent on, and has he's with 80 something countries worldwide. He is the one who is responsible for Hawaii and Alaska being now freed from our corporate control, if you will, among other things. Judge David Wynn Miller.
Yeah.
When this guy is phenomenal, and he's about sovereignty. He's a sovereign judge.
So are you going to be filling out forms that you heard of from there or not?
Well, this is all new to me. So I as far as the processes here, I've known about the strawman account. I've known about the history of the Federal Reserve. I've done a lot of research regarding our history back 6,000 years. So I'm very familiar with that, very confident in discussing that aspect of our corporate infrastructure since the Act of 1871 and so on and so forth. So I'm pretty...
What's the judge's name again?
Judge David Wynn, W-Y-N-N, Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R. He's all over the YouTube. He's got a website.
Yeah, I just found him.
He teaches it, trains it. See, videotapes that you're looking at there, I think 2013, 14, he was about 64 years old.
All right, guys. I'm actually the call is now live. Let me just make sure with these guys that they can hear it. Hey, you guys can hear the call on the stream, right? The live stream.
Hey guys, I just wanted to.
Well, one second. We'll get into it. I just want to make sure these guys can hear everything. Okay, they can. All right, good.
Should we do the live call or the YouTube live stream?
I'm doing both. It's when having the call, I'm feeding the audio back through my laptop, and my laptop is then recording it for the live stream. So I've got both going at the same time.
Should we do the live? Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm actually really, I don't know, have you guys been having trouble finding my videos or anything?
Nope.
Today? Okay.
Guys, the YouTube live stream.
I'm doing both. It's when having the call, I'm feeding the audio. If somebody has their audio on, just try to either turn it really low or mute it, because it's gonna be backfed.
So that was me, Mike. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, you guys can continue with your discussion, and then I'll get into that. I know you were already. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to make sure everything was up and running.
This is Mike. This is Mike, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
I have a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you were basically saying that you're not so far recommending to fill out any government forms just because it makes you a party to, right?
Well, doing government forms, you're giving implied consent, so I would strongly recommend not. I mean, and not to mention, here's the big thing, and I'm not like, I guess maybe I shouldn't be putting up the video titles kind of sarcastic like I am. It's just that the particular individual was he was attacking people who are actually spreading real truth and then putting up something, and this guy knows what he's talking about, and he knows that he was putting up fictitious
trying to throw people off the track.
Yeah, because he's got 20,000 subscribers. He's been around for years, and he's been in the Freeman area for years. So I was a little bit perturbed when I saw that. But that form,
I'm sitting here with the UCC one filled out and the factualized thrust from Heather filled out, and one other thing, a couple other things, and I haven't done anything with any of them because I'm just like paralyzed. So I'm not sure what I want to do or where or what,
And it sucks that we have to be that way, but in all honesty, it's probably for the better to hold off on things right now, because we don't know we don't know what's what exactly yet. Truthfully, I mean that's the honest truth. And I mean I could sit here and try to claim that I know all the answers, but that's not going to help anybody. The truth is that there's pros and cons to every avenue, and it's a matter of figuring out which has the less cons and more pros, and that's where I'm at. And
what I gathered from Heather's whole thing is that they, a bunch of CCI years ago, and then they supposedly foreclosed on the corporation, and so now that was old stuff, and you don't do that anymore. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just like, are they accurate? I don't know. She seems very knowledgeable, but she's hopefully she's getting a big visual by putting herself in a situation where she got arrested. I don't know. I hope that's the case. So.
Yeah. And there was updates today as far as Heather.
I tried to get on the call tonight, but I just missed it. So. Yeah, I saw the guy that did the video. She's
which guy is that? By the way,
he's a guy. He's doing light something. He was broadcasting from DC, and basically he I don't remember what the name of his thing was, but basically, she's going back into court on Friday at 10 a.m. because they have to do this identity thing. She wants to be first case as ahead of her attorney. She hasn't found the right UCC attorney that knows what the heck they're doing. So she's got another attorney that's okay, but he doesn't really understand it all, and she wants to be first place, and the judge said it was too early for that, and so now she's got to be back in there Friday morning. So she's stuck in there at least a couple more days, but the stuff it looks like she was charged for, it looks like it could be 20 years for, but people are saying they expect her to walk out of there. So
well, it's a matter of jurisdiction, and she's not giving them jurisdiction. That's the whole reason why she hasn't signed anything, and she's not
right.
Agreeing to join her, and so that they're not going to be able to. I have a feeling she may walk out of there. She may not, but there's a good chance that she will. But until we know for certain, I mean, I put out the paperwork from the conference call because there was a lot of people that were emailing me, asking me, they were asking for that paperwork and the packet. Now, I do want to say, now that I'm on a live stream and now that we're getting a decent size audience, so I won't have to hopefully repeat it too much.
All right.
The author of those documents that were sent over by Vanessa, he is in prison. Just want to make sure everybody knows that, or he's either still in prison or he served 15. I think it was 15 years. He was sentenced to for charges that were related directly to the UCC filing. So I want to make sure everybody understands that before they go and actually send it in. There are a lot of other people who have had luck using those forms, but that's why I'm saying that there's always pros, there's always cons. It's not it's not just black and white where you know what's good and what's not. It's very very mixed, and that's what's taking me so long to promote something or not promote something. And I wanted to clarify that when I put that up, I know I guess I need to start doing this a lot more. Just because I put something up does not mean that I'm promoting it. I'm doing that for the people who are asking and asking and asking, and they have their mind set up, because I've made it very clear that until I know exactly what the best scenario is and what the safest scenario is, I'm not going to promote anything at this point. I promoted the factualized trust, but unfortunately, I don't know. We'll see how that factualized trust plays out, if it plays out okay or what.
Did you ever hear was there a place to record that, or you're just supposed to hang on to it and give it to people when you're trying to, get your payments through? As far as they said.
As far as they were saying, you would take that factualized trust and then you would you would fill it out. I think they were suggesting sending it to similar to like a UCC filing, where you would send it to like the Secretary of State for your state, and then sending it to your creditors or debtors, and you could turn around and then use that paperwork. Like say you got how Heather is, they're using that as a document in court for her.
Is that the only thing there that you think they're using, or do you know?
No, there is a stack of papers that were stamped in over the last couple days. If you go to the IUV website, they showed a giant stack of papers, and there's a bunch more documents. They don't show exactly what they are, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, I saw those. I mean, some of those docs I think were the old UCC things that they filed in 1972 or whenever it was. There were a whole bunch of them that filed them then, and then she did the factualized trust for the whole People's Republic or something, and then recently she said that is no longer that served its purpose, and now it is no longer, and so now we each have a factualized trust to fill out. But I'm not even sure that she's saying we need to do that. So unless it's just a gift to your bank or whoever you're trying to get a payment through, like theoretically what they did was for everybody in the whole world. I don't know. I'm not clear 100%, but.
Right.
So,
Mike, I have a question.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set it to the question and answer mode, and
good idea.
And then that way we can run through these questions, and then we'll have like a little group open discussion at the end, and I'm going to continue with some of the announcements of everything. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to put us on here. Hold on 1 second. I actually really like this.
Hello?
Hold on 1 second. I got to put it in. Why is this not going to the question? Oh, there we go.
Q&A session has started. The recording has started.
People who called in to get in the question and answer mode, you would hit *6, and that will put you in line for to ask your question. Now, if we can, with the question and answers, we'll try to keep, it to a question and maybe like a very brief, saying what you have, whatever you feel that you wanted to say, kind of briefly. That way we have enough time to get everybody's questions answered. So starting off will be 954.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. It's William in Miami. What I want to mention to you was, as far as getting the word out, how are we doing on the, and I just come in the middle, so I don't know what's going on, but how are you doing on the phone calls to the television stations, or getting things set up so we can follow? I saw that you put up the video on how to make your own video.
Yes, I also have a playlist up on my channel, and what I'm asking is, for you guys that are going and making your video, you're making the calls and you're recording them, make your video and then put that video in that playlist, and we'll build that playlist to however many videos we accrue, and then that's going to be evidence of the mainstream media sweeping things under the rug and lying, and B, them intentionally trying to hide this specific topic, which is exactly what they're doing. So yeah, I mean, I haven't had a chance to take a look yet on the playlist and see who's put some there. I can do that real quick.
Well, and one more thing, are you familiar with what software or app would be available for the iOS and the Apple phone, the i7 and stuff? Because I went on there and I'm not finding the one that you have for my Apple.
Yeah, no, Screencast-O-Matic's for like a home computer. That Screencast-O-Matic's not really going to work for a phone. It's not really a recording software. The Screencast-O-Matic is like the screencasting that I do. How I'll show you like all the different tabs, the different websites, and yeah. As far as a phone one, I'm not too sure. I have a an Android. Maybe that's something I can try to take a look and find out though, and I'll try to put out a video, you know, like best recording apps or, you know, ideas of recording apps for different phones for you guys.
Now, I know you put out something about Alex Jones today. Anything, any updates on that, or
no,
are you going to try to attack all the independent news people that do tell the truth?
Yeah, truthfully, I have not had a return call from Fox or ABC or Alex Jones yet. So I probably won't either. Yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah. They're gonna try to hide it, man, because they're, you know, even most of the alternative media has been sabotaged. So it's not going to be, they're not going to be jumping on board with us trying to help us. They're doing what they're told to do, which is why they get, you know, as much money as they do, is to stay quiet. They'll tell half truths to mislead people, and then they will oh yeah, I'm not even seeing any videos in this playlist. So yeah, nobody's added them yet. So you guys that have made yeah.
If you find something about the Apple, just let me know. But one last thing is, what about, in order to get the word around faster, you can obviously do this by yourself. And I know Harvey's doing it as well, and there's some other people like Larry, Gary Larry, is an elderly gentleman, probably in his late 80s, very nice, doing a lot of good things. But what about maybe having some other lead people out there like yourself that can lead on other, you know, get-togethers like this, group discussions that can help spread the word as well. So that way it takes the load off you and Harvey, and you know, we can maybe spread more groups out, and then, you know, get together and put our views together. That way we can spread it faster. Well, you know.
Yeah, that's the whole. I don't know if you heard the other call we had the other day, but there was a veteran Marine who had brought up making, you know, getting state groups basically of people together, and I'm actually working on making that happen right now. I started the New York Facebook group, so for even those that don't use Facebook, you can even make just like a dummy account, and then email me at that new email address that I created strictly for that, and let me know what state you're in. And then you just basically, once I know I have people in that state, I will create a group for that state. And you know, you guys would basically, whoever's willing to help with moderating and running those individual state groups, I'll basically, you know, make that available for you guys. It'll all be located under the website for this channel on Facebook. That way it's easily accessible for everybody, and they're not trying to hunt all this stuff down. It's all right there. It makes it very simple. So yeah, we have. How do I find that address on Facebook? Get you on Facebook. How do I get that information? If you actually go on my channel and you go to the About tab, the About section of my channel, it's got all the links right there. It's got the petition. It's got the Facebook. It's got the backup channel. It has my email address. And then I'm going to be obviously updating that for the new emails, because I also created new emails strictly for, you know, intel and tips. And then I'm going to have one that I'm not going to be broadcasting. That's strictly going to be for the people that are, you know, moderating or doing the administrative stuff on those groups, so that because it's going to be impossible for me to sit there and try to, you know, add all these people by myself in all these different groups. So that's why it'd be easier, and then you guys can kind of work amongst yourselves, brainstorm ideas of how to get the message out, and, you know, plans of attack to really get this thing taken to the next level. And
I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm gonna send you an email there with where I'm from and all that stuff. Let you know I'm willing to, you know, help out people on the bodies to see if we can get it going. So I appreciate everything you do, man. God bless you and your family.
Thank you. Same to you, brother.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. 716.
Yeah, hello.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great. Thanks.
Hey, what forms are necessary, and how do I obtain them?
Forms are necessary, as in, which forms are you talking about?
For the accounts.
Well, there's no forms that are absolutely necessary to use the accounts. There are different forms that we're trying to decipher which is the best. At this time, I'm not going to promote any form because each one has their own pros and cons, and I truthfully don't know to be honest with you, anybody that tells you right now they know 100% for certain, unless they can show you a bank statement showing that they transferred their entire trust account into their bank, then they're lying. There is no definitive forms or method at this point. The accounts are there, and you can use them without, filing the paperwork. But I don't know if you heard the call earlier, or not the call, but the video earlier. That was from the caller from a couple days ago. He had some success with calling his creditor, and he found out the third-party middleman that was handling his accounts. And then he called them, and they said that they were automatically denying his transfers or purchases because that account has not been used practically ever. So what they did was they updated his information. He told them, put my name, he said his name and said it needs to be in all capital letters. They updated his address, all of his personal information, and he claims that he hasn't had any reversals. I guess he was doing this before it got really big. So he was saying that he hasn't had any reversals in like a month. So
is it thing I need to file?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing at this point that I'm going to tell you that you have to file to do anything. There is different paperwork that I'm working on figuring out which is the best route to go, and I'm not going to promote any of it, anything until I know for certain, because I don't want to mislead anybody. I'm here to help people, and I don't want to potentially tell you the wrong way to go, and then there ends up being unwanted or undesired consequences. That's the big thing with me. I prefer to be straight up, as everybody right now is on the hunt and trying to decipher which is the best route to go. The UCC paperwork I put up from Vanessa, who was kind enough to share that with us. I later found out that the author of those documents was sentenced to 15 years in prison in some relation to that paperwork. So that's what I mean when I know it's hard, because everybody wants solid access to those funds now, and everybody wants a solution, myself included, but we have to remember that they make these things so complicated because they don't want you to be able to figure out the system and the way to go about it, Right. So I'm working on it though. Day and night, I'm going through document after document. I'm tracking down leads. I'm going through all the emails. People are sending me a lot of stuff, and I'm going through all the emails. And Michael Yancey, I saw that you got back to me, so I will be getting in touch with you after this conference call.
Okay. I'm in New York.
What's that?
So I said I'm in New York.
Okay, so yeah, you could actually join the New York group. I started it today, and then I'll be starting the other ones as I sort through the emails and find out the locations of people, the general areas where they are, so I can get those groups established for them. And whoever is willing to put in some work and moderate and do admin type stuff, adding people, making sure the group runs smoothly, and then you guys, once you have a community, you can figure out everything, your tasks in those groups amongst you guys, and basically have control of it, being that's your stuff, that's your group. And having more heads on this, we're going to solve it a lot quicker. And that's what I'm trying to breed and teach everybody, is that you guys are all very capable of doing everything, and have no fear. We're gonna tear this up. We're gonna really make a difference here. I know it. I feel it. My soul has been telling me that, and yeah. So I'm really excited for this next step here.
Do you have an address for that?
For the Facebook site, if you go on my YouTube channel, this is the easiest way I could tell you, because I'm not going to be able to read it out right now. If you go on my YouTube channel, there's an About section on the YouTube channel. Just click on the About section. That's going to have a link on there to the petition, a link to the Facebook. It's going to have a link to the email, and what else? There's something else. I just don't remember what. So, oh, the backup channel. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, I don't want to hold you up any longer. I appreciate the work you're doing, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Much to you and yours, and God bless us all, bro.
That's right, brother. Same to you. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. 303.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? You sound tired.
I'm all right. No, actually, I'm pretty refreshed today. I'm much more refreshed after taking yesterday.
Well, just want to give out appreciation, because we all know you're working really hard and trying to get this message out. But I just wanted to share real quick my personal story of what's going on with these accounts and so forth. I didn't fill out any paperwork. I used just the basic Social Security and universal routing. I tried a couple different numbers, got a bounce back. Used the universal, had payments go through, obviously got reversals. But I did want to share that I made a payment for about a $30,000 car loan. The payment went through after about 4 days. Call them, and I suggest that people do this once you've received confirmation the payment has gone through, you give them a call, whoever the company is, the creditor, and record the phone call, let them know you're recording the call, get confirmation from them. I got on 3 separate occasions that the payment has been received, that it's gone through, so I have them on recording. Days later, I get a reversal online, but the kicker is today I received an actual signed title from the company, along with 2 separate payoff letters. So I know this works. And the thing that we need to really focus on is when these payments are bounced back, there's ACH codes that they give you, and they tell you why a payment was bounced back, whether it be a bad account or, they suspect fraud. I know that the payments that I'm getting bounced back all say limited participation.
Yep.
Now you can go online and you can look up the codes, and there's numerous amounts of different codes of why payments get bounced back. Now that particular code, which I'm getting the bounce back for this particular code on all my payments, saying limited participation. What that means is someone on the processing end, the receiver bank, is putting a stop to these payments. So people need to know that these payments are going through. But somebody's putting a stop to them. So this is real.
That's good.
If it was a fake account number, if this wasn't real, it bounced back with a different processing code in error. So they're definitely receiving these payments, and I believe these companies are in fact receiving payment on these payments, and then coming and saying,
they're keeping the money.
We got a reversal. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
They're taking the money.
Yeah, they're keeping the money.
My suggestion is to everybody: if say you have a car loan that you pay off, and you get a confirmation number, you get on the phone with these people, and you put the ball in their court. Let them defend. Say, I got payment confirmation. I just want to confirm everything. I want you to go ahead and process the payment letter, because what they do is they get the payment received, and then it goes into a different department to process title and payoff letters. And that's what I did. I got that ball rolling as soon as possible. As soon as I saw the payment was received and got verbal confirmation, I got that ball rolling. And now I have a confirmed signed title, but the kicker is they reversed the payment. So now I got to go back to them and say, hey, letters, and you guys are reporting online that my payment's been reversed. So why
why would it, I actually have another letter that payment didn't go through. If we don't receive the title back in 10 days, we're going to report it to your credit agency. And my response to that is, why am I going to go ahead and do that? I have a signed title in hand. I've got 2 payoff letters. I've got verbal confirmation on a phone recording, and I've got screenshots of when the payment was received with confirmation numbers. So people just have to understand, put the ball in court. They have to prove that they didn't receive payment. I've already requested a full billing statement showing, hey, this is the payment, it was bounced back. You guys have to prove to me that you never received those funds. I can't do that. So I've got a battle ahead of me. I just want to get people's spirits up that this is in fact real, but it takes some work. You're not just going to put in a couple of account numbers and expect that, oh, this is going to go through and my bills are paid. You got to do some work.
Yeah.
Now, as far as, I think we need to clarify that the TDA accounts and these Federal Reserve routing numbers are 2 separate things. They're separate accounts. So the Social Security and you're using these numbers are different from online with the TDA accounts. That's a whole separate animal with the UCCs and filing all that paperwork. Those are 2 different things. And I think that's getting lost in translation with this movement is people, and sorry, I'm getting a little excited because it's a little overwhelming. It really, really is.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids. I know you've got a kid. I'm just like, it's not about the money. We know we're getting a screw job here. And if it wasn't real, why are these payments going through? You've got to ask that question. Why am I entering my Social Security? Payments are being processed and we're getting confirmation. If this wasn't real, that stuff's bounced back. Try any random number with a routing number. It's not going to take it. It's going to reject it right away.
Well, yeah,
so
no, that's part of, and I don't think I touched on it enough. But here's another thing I want to put out here is, and it's going to fall hand in hand with what you're saying. A video I meant to put up today, I didn't get a chance to cover it. I kind of forgot to. Is I want to get people who have reversals and stuff like that, black out all your information, and do like a quick maybe
Sure.
5 or 10 second, or it could even be 30-second video of yourselves, and send me those. Put them on your channel, but send me those, because I'm gonna try
Absolutely.
I'm gonna make a new video that's gonna open people's eyes. It's gonna shut up the naysayers. It's gonna open people's eyes, and it's gonna make a lot more people really say, something really is going on here. So
yeah, absolutely. Something's going on, and there is proof out there, and we got to put them on the defense. They've got to prove that they're not getting payments. I mean, I will send you the documentation, because this is not BS. I'm not someone looking for my 5 seconds of YouTube fame here. I want to show people that this is real, so this movement keeps going, because we have been screwed for so long. We're slaves. And it's time to really stand up and say, hey, look, it's not about the money. It's not about paying off our debts. It's about getting us free from bondage. And that's what people need to know. So I have no problem sending the document. I'll make a video. I've got phone calls. I've got a live real title here. And now I've got to go to my car company and fight them and say, hey, look, I've got a signed title here. I've got 2 payoff letters. You guys got to prove to me why would I send a signed title back to them with 2 payoff letters? I mean, you've got to be stupid.
Right.
So I've got a battle ahead of me, but I just want people to know, don't get discouraged. You're going to get these reversals, but you got to put. And you're absolutely right. They are receiving payments, and they're double dipping. So they receive this money from the bank because that's the one thing about this transaction. I work in payment processing, so I know that those particular routing numbers, and you've said it multiple times, they can't reverse the payment. They do not accept payments. Those accounts are set up to only send out the payments. So we know that they've received payments and they're double dipping against us. They expect us to pay off the loan on top of already receiving those funds.
And that's
really all I wanted to say tonight. And
yeah,
I know you're working hard, man.
Yeah, no, that's great, and that's that's along the lines. I want everybody out there that's watching and listening right now. Any of you who have had that's had success, I want you guys to take your take your proof, okay, and black out your account information, black out whatever personal information you don't want getting out, and you know, make yourselves a couple, you know, however long, under 30 seconds or less video, just briefly, you know, almost like customer testimonial would be. You know, you're not selling anybody anything. You're telling them, look, you really want to look into this. Look what it's done. You know, this is real. And I want to splice a whole bunch of people's testimonials together, and I'm going to make a video that YouTube cannot pull down. I'm not going to be telling people exactly how to use the account, but I'm going to make them start wondering and start thinking. That way, they have to start doing.
We're all adults here. You know, we got to put on our big boy pants and join this fight together. And let's just real quick, man. I know you got kids. Give your kids a kiss goodnight, because this is for them. It's for our grandchildren. This is a movement together, and because it's real. And at most, we need to just show the fraud that's going on, because this is a screw job for all of us. It's crap, and so we all need to see that. And I'll just leave it at that, and I'll let you go to the next caller. And I do appreciate all the work you put into this.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, I'll be in touch, because I am definitely going to send you all my stuff. So
sounds
move
good.
on to the next person.
Sounds good, brother. You too, bud. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye. 313. PT Stacker, you're wrong. There is funds getting. It's not that the Federal Reserve is never sending the money. That's not true. 313.
Yes, how you doing, Mike? This is Detroit, Michigan.
What's up, brother?
How you doing? I was calling because I paid a Capital One card, and they sent me the confirmation. 2 days later, they sent me another confirmation saying they got the money. And then a couple days after that, they sent me another email saying that it was reversed. So I called them, and they said that they didn't get the money, that they would have to call the bank with me on the phone to verify where the money is, because they don't have it. And I was wondering, could you tell me what should I do about that?
Okay, so they sent. Could you say it one more time?
Okay, I paid the bill. They sent me a confirmation, said that they got the money. The next day, they sent me a confirmation, said that they received the funds, that my account was in the clear.
Yep.
A couple days after that, they sent another email saying that the payment was reversed. So I called Capital One, get them on the phone. They sit there and they tell me that they never received the money, and that they would have to call the bank with me on the phone so I can verify where the funds were, because they don't have them. And I was wondering, how should I go about that?
Yeah, to me it sounds more like they're what they're doing is they're suspecting fraud, probably because of that's going with the Federal Reserve routing numbers, and they're telling you to call the bank because they know that you really can't call the bank, and the bank's not going to say that they hold an account for you. I would ask them for a forensic audit. I would ask them for a detailed breakdown proving that they did not receive the funds. That's been my recommendation. It's also been Harvey's recommendation. I've been battling with my own reversals the same way. They'll add pressure on them. They'll admit that they did have the funds, but that it was reversed, and then they'll say it was that the truth is it's a fraud. They're suspecting fraud, which it's not fraud. It's your account and your name and your number. If that makes sense.
Right, because I made another payment to Mopar, and they said they received the funds and my account was clear. And then a couple days later, they sent one that said it was reversed. And then I called like 3 days after I got the reverse email. But when I called, they said that my account was in the clear and I had nothing to worry about. So if they got the money, then Capital One got the money. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Capital One, I'll tell you right now, definitely got the money, because I paid Capital One, and then they put my account into restricted mode. They definitely received the money. They verified to me that they received the money, and it was all about they wanted me to provide proof proof of ownership of the bank. I offered to send them my social certificate. I offered all of that and explain to them that they can the account number is my social security number. But the problem is, man, is a lot of these companies are, I don't know if you saw the video I did, but about 90% of the companies, the bigger companies, are all owned by the same, handful of families, which in turn own and are a part of the Federal Reserve as well. So we're basically fighting against the Federal Reserve. We're fighting the Federal Reserve with the payments, and we're fighting against the Federal Reserve when we're going to deal with the people we were paying to begin with. So no matter what, we're dealing with the Federal Reserve. And whatever companies aren't part with those families, there is so much fear to these big companies that if they don't do exactly what the Federal Reserve says, that will be the end of their business as they know it. I actually received a message from Veeam, because during the beginning I tried to get Veeam to use Veeam to see if I could transfer cash back and forth, and they flat out admitted, I put it in a video here, they flat out admitted that they could not process my transactions. They actually closed my account without even telling me, like moments after I processed the transaction, and they flat out admitted to me when I pursued what the reasoning behind it was, that they have business relationships, and they could not specify names or whatever, and that they could not process my transaction for that reason. And they flat out admitted that they admitted that I wasn't doing anything wrong by what I was doing, but they just could not process those transactions. So that goes to show you right there. It's a big, because most of these companies, they know that if they go against the grain with the Federal Reserve, that the Federal Reserve will shut them down, and that'll be it. That's why we need to keep the movement going into awakening people, unifying people, and because that is their tactic: divide and conquer all the way. They're gonna try to divide us by race, by religion, by ideals, by beliefs. That if you look at society, that's a lot of what the elections boil down to too. It's even further division. It's division all the way around, and then these attacks and all the crazy stuff that happens. Order out of chaos. Divide and conquer. Order out of chaos. That's their MO. So.
That's the MO. Yeah. So I'm calling back, and I'm gonna have to get them to send me proof that they don't have the funds and go with it, but go about it that way, because they're trying to play me, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, like you say, kill them when you call and you talk to them and be nice. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think I'm at.
Yeah. Be nice. Call them first. Be nice. Record it. Get all the information you can, and then after that, then you should call back and demand that they correct all this. You don't be so nice in the second call. That's the call that you make them start, getting a little worried.
Right. Well, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna hit your email up, and I will let you know how. I appreciate you doing what you're doing, man. I'm following y'all. I appreciate the movement. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
The word needs to be spread, because there's a lot of people out here don't know about what's going on.
Yeah.
And keep spreading it. For real. Like y'all said, it is for us kids and the grandkids. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Definitely, man. Definitely. I appreciate you, and don't give up, man. Be positive and keep pushing along. Even if right now, we all chill out on the accounts, we can push the important aspect, which is bringing awareness and then changing. That's the big thing. So.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, bringing awareness and making that.
That's right, man.
I appreciate your help. You go ahead and help somebody else now, because I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
And I'll email you and let you turn it out.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
914.
Yeah, hello?
Hi, how are you? I can hear you. Yeah, you're breaking up. You're breaking up big time.
Is that better?
Yeah, it sounds better.
All right. The question I have for you, Mike, is why would you file a petition and not a claim?
A petition and not a claim. Well, I was filing a petition to get as many signatures as possible on there so that we could raise awareness. That's the key thing, is awareness, waking people up.
I understand the whole awareness and building the community and unity throughout the people. But if we go through any type of law and we look up what a petition is just, it's a French-rooted word that means whiny old bitch. Now, if we really put together a claim down to the Supreme Court, file it, now we can start bringing third parties, the Federal Reserve, TDA. We could bring these people into court and ask them questions on an open record and start holding people accountable for their actions or their misinformation or education or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that I don't know if you've watched some of my earlier stuff, but that is also a part of the agenda to get them have official charges. So we get the support. Then I did want to go in and make way to start was to raise awareness, though. That's what I think is the most important thing right now, is raising awareness, waking people up, and the more support we have, the more effective we will be and successful when we go to do that. Otherwise, they're going to sweep it under the rug.
Well, to me, I'm in New York, and I've sued New York City and New York State because of my child situation in the family courts. Now, I've been studying and understand law all the way to Magna Carta, the UCC, all of this, and my knowledge of becoming a secured party or a private citizen, or dealing with the Social Security Administration, dealing with the Federal Reserve, and dealing with these people, you have to be a secured party. Now, when it comes down to being a secured party, there are steps to taking. The UCC1, only the UCC1 financial statement is a way to basically government or whatever agency that you are not participating as the citizen and you are not accepting those privileges of being a United States citizen. Now, once that is there, all the codes and statutes that pertain to only U.S. citizens, that means a person part of an organization, you can actually start claiming other things, claiming your Federal Reserve account, claiming all these things. So I'm new to this. Like I just became aware of all this secret accounts in this community, and going and having my background, you can also Google look up what I've done. And what I've done is really simple. Like when anyone gives us orders or anyone gives us information, part of the government or any of these agencies, the best thing to do is actually give them notice and actually go have it notarized and make it an actual legal document and submit these things. Because all these phone calls and recording things is not really doing anything legally.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting this. I think this is a common misconception people are getting. This point is for people to record them and stick them in that playlist. That is strictly to wake people up, get awareness to the fact that no matter how many people call the same news agency the same day and put the fire on them, they still don't care. They still won't cover it. It's to further expose them. The phone calls and all that. It's not about I don't truthfully think they're going to turn around and pop out a story. No, it's more of exposure. We're exposing the frauds. We're exposing their game. We're exposing how they cover something. So the Federal Reserve said about the door your history. You damn well know they put out a memo when this first started picking up traction to every corporation and every news agency and said, you know what? You might not want to open your mouth on this one. That's the big problem.
Okay, well, I understand that. No, that is a big problem. But to me, okay, you know, I'm also in New York, and I'm going to post my email. I just wanted to know about the petition and the route you were going. But I am in New York. I live in the city, and I'm going to post my email on the actual chat. And if you want, I'd love to have a conversation with you and just we tattoos and these accounts. The only real access, I believe, and this is only my belief into my own research, the only way to access these things is to be a secured party. So I think the awareness, to me, is getting everyone to somehow become their own secure party and understanding that, you know, when we start using legal terms with these people like third-party agencies or the Federal Reserve or PayPal or whatever, trying to get full accounting, and that's really what it is getting full accounting of these accounts, of these from these organizations.
Yeah, you know, this isn't talked about nearly enough, and this is what I think that people really need to understand about all this to begin with, is we can all become secured parties, okay? So just with the people that are in this movement alone, if everybody became a secured party and got access to those funds, do you think those funds are going to have any value at that point? They're not.
Well,
the cost of inflation.
Fiat currency doesn't have any value, period.
Right. But the inflation is going to make those trust funds void. They're not going to be worth anything at that point. And we can go and we can all become secured parties and we can take care of ourselves, but there's still millions of people out there who have absolutely no idea what is really going on. And that's where I've been and what I've been doing. And I get what you're saying, and that's why I'm trying to explain a little bit better maybe as far as where my head is at, because you know I'm all about getting the accounts, yeah, but I also see the fact that once even, you know, like 1,000 to 10,000 people gain those accounts, for the economy and the cost of products, it's gonna make things.
Well, it's gonna help the economy because people are gonna be able to put more monies back into the economy.
Right, but if something that now costs you $10 ends up costing, you know, 1,000, or it's gonna cripple the financial system. And truthfully, I think that this information was leaked out at this time, possibly on purpose. That's been a thought in the back all along.
Well, I personally believe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I believe, you know, like with all this information that's coming out, especially in today's time, I mean, it really has to do with cryptocurrencies. Because, I mean, even if you look at what Donald Trump is saying and what he's doing, Donald Trump has his own cryptocurrency. It's called the Trump coin. Yeah. And you know what? It's only been out a year or two, and it's probably one of the most high-value coins on the crypto market right now. And you can Google this. You know, so to me, it's like we're dealing with fiat currency. Fiat currency is basically based on U.S. denomination, and that is the world's money is U.S. currency. But today's time and today is because the U.S. currency has no value. There's a lot of conflict of interest here, especially when it comes to funding with proper money. Because if we look at what money is gold, silver, commodities, sugar, stuff like that. Like that's real money. Property is real money. And when we look at what fiat currency is as a currency, there's no value, there's no backing, there's nothing there.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, the best thing people can do, if they are able to access or is to purchase probably items that will lose less value. Property, even property. I mean, property's okay, but I mean, we've seen how that's gone. I'm talking more like gold, silver, you know.
Well, coins and bullions, and you know, I agree with that. I agree completely with that. Even getting part of refineries and those kind of things, and you know, secured bonds. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put my email in the And I
me, if you go to my channel, let me know it's from the call. But as far as the getting a suit and all that, Larrabee had mentioned, that's why I really haven't explored that avenue yet. It was already something I was planning on doing. My biggest concern was to try to keep the wave going and keep reaching more people, keep waking more up. That way we grow in numbers and we get stronger and stronger. Because I know you had said that you sued and won with the state, but here's the thing: the state is a totally different ball game compared to the Federal Reserve. I mean, they can't even they've evaded every opportunity for our federal government to audit them for how long. They've flat out admitted that they play by a different set of rules, that nobody tells them what to do. So that's I
right,
think
but the courts are still banks. Like judges and magistrates, they're still bankers. Like they work for the bank. So if let's just say if we got 1,000 people to sign a claim and go into a Supreme Court or a federal district court and state, you know what, the Social Security Administration is doing X, Y, and Z. TDA is doing X, Y, and Z. The Federal Reserve is doing X, Y, and Z. I think the awareness would be so much, it would happen quicker.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It makes perfect sense. That's definitely something I'm interested in. It was already part of my plan and idea. I was waiting to see, like I said, because Gary and Sharon or whatever said that they were already exploring that avenue, but I haven't heard anything else about it. So maybe that is the next move. I do want to continue with the plans that we've already got going on, because I think it's going to really, it's everybody's got something to saying, like, more people putting in work and coming up with ideas. That's the best way that we're going to accomplish this and succeed. It's all about unification, reaching more.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Shoot me your email.
Listen, we're going to let the next caller go. I'm going to send you an email right now.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good, man.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
I guess. Peace and love.
Same to you, bro. But D. What's up, man?
Hello, Mike.
How you doing, brother?
I've been trying to get a hold of you. Creative Industries, but it's my other name.
Okay, there you go. What's up, brother?
But I got a couple of things. The previous gentleman actually covered a lot of my stuff, but I have a couple of questions written out. I myself am a New Yorker, and I'm a veteran, and I do receive VA benefits. And my first pursue becoming a sovereign entity. Would all veterans that are receiving certain benefits in healthcare through the VA, would that forfeit your benefits?
That's you're not the first one to ask me that question, and that's a really good question. And actually, it's already something I'm planning on going and taking a gander at, because I truthfully don't know the answer to it. But I'm going to find out for you and some of the other veterans, because here's the only thing that I highly doubt is something like that, especially with all the negative press that they've had with how they've dropped the ball with veterans to begin with. But I mean, then again, who knows with them? They're evil, corrupt, satanical bastards. So they very well may try to mess with you guys, especially being.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, they may even want to make more of an example out of you guys too.
See, what I feel is that you're doing, as we all do. However,
hold on just 1 second.
It's growing, so yes.
Okay. I just got to say to all the trolls, I guess that means I'm doing something right to see so many of you guys coming in here in the live streams now. To all my family, I love you guys. Positivity. All right, go ahead, brother. Sorry.
That's okay. Given the movement, and I feel like it's moved very, very fast. We're all at different levels of knowledge, and you are spearheading something, and I think what's going to slow down the progress is you having to kind of stop and explain the lower level stuff, for newbies and whatnot, just discovering this information, and that's going to pull you away from actually taking action. And that's why I'm glad you started making little local chapters and a lawyer in New York, and get a group of New Yorkers to propose this to a lawyer so he can represent us as a group. And instead of just having a Facebook group in each location, actually find a lawyer that wants to fight the good fight in each area, and actually take action rather than sitting behind your computer and trying to hack some numbers and get some money.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. And that's a lot of what the previous guy was talking. I don't know if you watched some of the earlier stuff. Sticking into some suits and trying to find some legal means. That's part of one of my goals with the channel, is to get some FOIA requests pushed through, and to get some on the record legal advice for everybody. Gary and Sharon were supposed to have been starting a suit. I got to try to get in touch with him. I haven't personally worked with him or collaborated with him on anything. I'm going to try to reach out to him, see if I can have a conversation, find out if they where they landed with that, if they went anywhere at all with it or not. An important part. I was thinking that the reason why I wasn't getting too crazy about it just yet is because we do have a large group here. The movement's grown strong, but we still have a long way to go. And I think that once we gain, a critical mass, I think it'll be a lot easier trying to battle the Federal Reserve and the government before we have the people on our side that we need. Because believe it or not, there's still a lot of people that are really brainwashed and have no clue. I mean, you should see some of the messages, emails, comments that I get, and it doesn't matter. It could be written right in front of them like it is, and they just don't see it. Now
I only have two more, but I understand that's not the case with most of the people. They're feeding families, they're paying debts off, but I personally don't have any debt. I just have a very small credit card bill that I paid just to test out the information early on. And my feeling is, I just want to learn more at the moment. But if you were to pursue what is, legally, or you're trying to prove that you legally accounts, they can sort of change the laws as they go. At what point is there a stop to that? In other words, if you're trying to call your middleman to, view the ACH payment and get your forensic audit, and somebody who's higher up at the Federal Reserve is speaking to your credit card company that says, well, and you're fighting over the phone, what do you do as an individual?
Well, that's exactly that. I mean, they're going to keep doing it. That's why a little bit of a difference in point of view compared to. It's not that I'm right or they're wrong, or they're right and I'm wrong. We all are. We are all thinking and think of the best way to work through this and succeed in the battle, because it's a battle. We're in a battle with for truth here, and for change. And that's why I kind of turned around and I'm like, well, guys, it may be a better idea if, we chill out on the accounts until we figure out what's going on with Heather and Randy, and B, we get this thing figured out a little bit more, get a little bit more exposure, and get to the bottom of it, because we can sit here and keep our debts, keep having these reversals happen. With we're still in a testing phase. We don't have this whole thing even nearly figured out yet. It's still fresh. I mean, this didn't really become
exactly
right. This didn't really come to fruition until last month. I know that there was a little bit of a phase of this that didn't reach nearly a fraction of what it has this time around a couple years back, but it wasn't specifically the same thing. That's why
that's what I'm saying is I don't pay. I mean, I just want to learn to get what is rightfully mine, but I'm not trying to pay any bills because I don't have any bills to pay, and I just want to be. I'm kind of with you on the learning side of this, and I agree. Like, everybody needs to stop trying to hack the system, because they're just going to change the system, and
right.
Yeah, we're back to square one.
Yeah, the big thing is rallying, building exposure, exposing the crimes and the fraud, and then from there, have the numbers, and we have the numbers. Then we go at them lock, stock, and barrel through the legal system, and we really make change. We change the world, and that's literally what we have. Every single one of us has the possibility and the potential to change the world for the better. So any of those people that always thought, well, yeah, man, I'd love to really do something that would really make a difference someday. Well, knock, knock, here it is. It's right at your door, and people need to realize that and just how crucial and how big.
Oh, you're
with me right now.
Right. You mentioned a very critical point, and this is my final point. You mentioned just a minute ago with the previous gentleman that you have a feeling that this information was sort of purposely leaked and promoted. I kind of agree with that, because I've been a cryptocurrency investor for a number of years, and also precious metals. I got out of debt a few years ago, and I started just stockpiling, saving money, and being just very wary. And I was thinking the same thing the other day, that I do feel that this is almost orchestrated, and this is almost designed to cause the crash of the dollar, and eventually hyperinflation, and the big reset that other people are talking about. Federal Reserve. So you did make a point that I actually was going to bring up myself.
Yeah. It's felt like that from pretty much day one. Fiance, I saw the video first, and then after, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I got to find out the facts on this, and I got to check it out. And I went crazy and just, tried to look up any information I could and soaked it all up. And then when I was talking to my fiance, she actually kind of funny thing with each other after being together for 8 years. And we both kind of said at the same time, just feels like this was like intentionally put out here. But at the same time, once this genie's out of the bottle, you can't exactly put it away. Whether or not it's going to cause the crash or the reset, it doesn't matter. This exposes everything that for so long everybody's called a conspiracy theory, and it's all right here out in the open. And now, for once, the United States population can once and for all see the truth. And that's into step-by-step specifics, but it's going to reach more. It's going to reach more in the masses. It's going to pull more people, pull up their minds so that they end up, you know, going, there must really be something to this. And then they go and start doing their own research. And that's what we want. We want them to start going and looking, because when they start going and looking, they're going to see all of this proof all over the place. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, it's obviously not a scam. And these guys obviously aren't crazy. You know, there's really something there. So that's why
I have my final. If everybody in the group wants to write this down, I highly recommend Mike Maloney, Hidden Secrets of Money. It's a YouTube series. It's free, and it is a education in money and the history of money. And you can learn a lot from watching those free videos. Mike Maloney, Hidden Secrets of Money, and also anything by Gertz. For the group running, that's part of the research, I think.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, Mike. I won't take up any more time, and I will be in touch with you.
Sounds good, brother. Thank you so much.
All right. Goodbye.
All right, bye. Hey, Gerald.
Hello. All right.
How you doing, bro?
To the caller just recently, I would agree 1,000%. Mike Maloney, absolutely fantastic information. I've been on him for quite some series to listen to. Also, Griffith, the creature from Jekyll Island.
Yep,
it's another
definitely.
good book / YouTube video. What I was thinking, there's so much to what's going on, and everyone has some excellent points, and I think everyone is 100% on the same conscious level. We are going through an energy shift that's bigger than just you, me, and everyone on this call, and even this program. You make some comments yourself on what the established keeping each other and so on and so forth. One other word I'd like to add to that is they like to do anything they can to lower our vibrational consciousness and keep us in fear, regardless of what that might be.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I'm saying a lot of these things they do, scare tactics, to keep us in fear and keep us, when we're in fear, they feed off that energy of doubt and unknowingness and so on. We are powerful beings. We are very powerful. We are so powerful, co-creators to the top, you know?
Yeah.
So we acknowledge that and come to that. We can change the intent of someone else's intent of negativity. They may start out in negativity. We can change the end results of their intentions. We can do this. This is a movement that I believe is as you mentioned, it was intended. I think it is very much a spiritual battle that's getting ready to unfold, and the dark is losing. The reality is shifting and changing to where it needs to be. I think it has to be a part of the people as a whole. We are on a good path. Keep it going. Let's keep it going. And what I was saying earlier before you recorded, referencing Judge David Wynn Miller.
Yeah.
Look him up and listen to some of his videos. The reason why I think some of the things that he has done and what his technology teaches is how to present and fight the court system, because the legal system, the court system, is designed off and based off of fiction. It's based off of lies. It's based off of you know, making money, and the judges are, if I can say this in my own words, they're like puppets, or they're like actors. They really don't have much power over you except that which we give them. And we walk into a courtroom and we're in fear because, oh, I'm going to court. Oh, there's a sheriff. Oh, I'm going to go to jail. We do that. But look at what the system does in the TV and all the programs. We are almost pro-deal will do something that's really bad. But no, we don't have to. And what Judge Miller teaches, syntax, grammar, quantum language, and I'm just going to paraphrase it and just try to explain it. If you can say the same thing forward and then repeat it backwards, and it means the same thing, then it cannot be altered, it cannot be tampered with, it cannot mean anything other than what it actually states. Yep. And Black's law and our corporate is all based off of manipulation, lies, deceit, and saying one thing and knowing that the public really doesn't understand what they really and truly mean. And so if he has been very successful and accepted as a postal federal judge, which has the highest level above state level judges, even federal judges, he and his partner have come a long way and doing a lot of good things. It has a lot of information about how to. He is teaching from. In other words, if you're interested in learning this, he's working with people all across the world, 80-something countries. China started. He went to China and started teaching, and they are teaching his language in the school systems, middle school, high school, college. They've been doing it since 2012, 2013. He's changing the entire laws as it relates to global financial infrastructure and the laws as it relates to treaties and trust, the whole 9 yards. And they can't, our current legal system cannot touch it because his is based off of facts and truth. And focus on fiction, on lies, and deceit.
Oh yeah, so definitely 100%, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So as a whole, also, if we could put together, or if there could be something where you guys know about fractal banking. So fractal banking, you put $10 in money, but to correlate that with the actual these trusts, these accounts were created for the cabal or the powers that was to make the money off of us as a corporate entity. The birth certificate is a corporation. And so if you take the approach of this is mine as a sovereign person, and I don't say citizen because citizen you'll be a part of the organization, but sovereign persons follow the law and give right to the law. That's the way it was, long before they came here. When they created the statutory system, they took away the sovereignty aspect of it and implemented the corporate and implemented the statutory and maritime amnesty law. So we have more power, and to claim sovereignty isn't, in my opinion, isn't to join an organization as sovereign, because now you're a group, and you'll be looked upon as entity. Sovereign is individual consciousness, how you yourself walk, how you communicate, how you express yourself. Because in the court of law, in the court system, you don't want to express yourself because it is their domain. And anything you can say will be used against you. And unless you know and understand the syntax language of law, you'll dig a deeper hole. And so I think understanding the syntax language and approaching it from that perspective, I think opportunity or potential of I've known about the fractal banking certificate since '33, I believe, and then they give $1 million on it. Every time you buy a property, student loan, a car, any type of loan in your name, they borrow that full amount from your strawman account, and they make one. I think it's shucks. I think it's like I want to say 100%. It's a huge amount. It's not just doubling it. They have 72 hours. They have 72 hours to process the money. So you do a loan for $300,000 for a house. They pull $300,000 out of your account, and that's 300,000 times 10. And then they put it back in your account, and then write you a note and charge you interest.
Yep.
That's the kind of, I think, information that people are not aware of. That why they set these accounts up in the first place. And so for us to gain access to them, we have to think of it in terms of a business or a corporate entity and to take that approach because it is there and our social security numbers validate the account. But it is a corporate infrastructure that's controlling it. And I think since 2013 when the Federal Reserve Act ended, the contract ended, there's a lot of things exposed. A lot of whistleblowers are exposing this. So I think there's a huge movement that's going to take place. But we just got to keep moving forward one step at a time and not be in fear and just keep projecting consciousness, positive energy as relates to how we allow others to make us feel or not. Just not feed into it and get fearful in our approach. And I think it'll be more successful quicker.
It's all about positivity. There's nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear here. Okay?
Yeah.
Every single one of you is strong. Every single one of you should have the confidence that you can be confident in anything that you do. Society has bred everybody to be insecure, self-conscious, to think that they don't know enough, that they're not intelligent enough, not significant. We've all been taught that we're insignificant. Every single one of you it matters so much you could never have any real comprehension of it. And you're capable of anything. Especially if you get a group of people together and they've got their heads, focused on a mission, then that's it. That mission's getting accomplished. So
indeed. Yeah, I think the society we grow up in right now, you have kids. They come into this world, if you will, and then everything is about I want to be like this singer, that rapper, that movie star, movie actor, whatever. And that's all by design to keep the power that's within us away from us. And then we're looking outside the window, always looking outside the window who we want to be alike, instead of tapping into the consciousness and the energy that we have within us to empower ourselves to rise above that which we are oppressed to be. We have to acknowledge that we have that power within us, and it's within us, not looking outside to one else. We have to become empowered ourselves. We can take this planet back.
Yeah,
but it starts with
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yep.
Awesome. Was there any questions or anything else that you had that you wanted to mention?
Well, like I said, I'm new at this. I haven't started a process, anything. I've just been reading, gathering a lot of information. Something this week mentally. And then when Heather and the other gentlemen went through, I thought, let me wait and do some more digging and understanding about some things. I have talked with Judge Miller. Judge Miller lives in Milwaukee, and I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So he's 30 minutes away from me. I call him. I just spoke to him probably 3 times today. So he is accessible to me. I can reach out. I'm in his training class to understand and study quantum language. And so I shared it with him. On one of his videos, he does a very good job explaining about the birth certificate. In his mind, he was saying, well, it's a contract. The birth certificate is a contract. Everything's a contract. So if you don't syntax the contract, then the contract itself is false, it's fraud. And then we know this, we see this, because people are getting access to these accounts, but yet they're being reversed because it is fraudulent. It's been fraudulent since they started it. So I think it's going to be require some involved research in how to syntax the proper contract so that it cannot be reversed. And I don't know how to do that yet. But I am discussing it with him. So
awesome.
We'll see.
Well, there's a lot of good information there and some good uplifting words. I'm sure everybody really appreciated that. I know I did. And yeah, that's awesome. So positivity, it's what it's all about. We all got to stay positive and know how much we mean. So
yeah.
All right.
All day long, everything we do.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, hopefully you can shoot me an email with any other information that you find, and these calls are gonna be a regular thing. I'm gonna have some longer ones on the weekends, and then some like this length on the weekdays. So, but thank you. I really appreciate all the feedback and all the information. I'm sure everybody else did as well.
Question: do you have access to Heather and the other gentleman? I mean, is there a means or a way to reach to them?
Yeah, there's a phone number and there's addresses. If you go to the IUV website, you can see it.
Okay, yeah, I signed up for their website on Saturday, so and if I to get something to her directly, but since she's in, I guess she's still in jail, right?
Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, her next court date is.
Is there a contact of?
What's that?
Okay, I was just wondering if there's someone. I was just wondering if there's someone who has a continual contact with her while she's there that can get some information, or they can reach out to. What I'm thinking of is talking with Judge Miller about her particular case. Is what I'm trying to do. I'm thinking about. I haven't talked to him about it because it just happened.
Go down that.
See what he might be.
Go down that avenue and let me know what you find. But yeah, all that information is right on IU. It's got the addresses to the jail, to the court, and it's got the phone numbers. And yeah, I actually called yesterday to wish her a happy birthday. I ended up leaving a message with the one of the guards.
Okay, cool. Then I will look up that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Thank you so much for the feedback, and yeah, if you're new to this, keep welcome, and we're gonna keep growing. Definitely, positivity is key. You have a good night.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right, thank you. 908.
Hey, Mike. First off, I just want to say, man, that I really love your spirit. I respect the mission that you have, because I get that for you it's more than just going over the ACH stuff and easy money, but about waking up a larger portion to the fact that there's at the very least they fog before their eyes. So I just wanted to preface that with that.
Thank you.
I think that's really cool, and I get it.
Thank you.
But you're welcome. And again, thank you. But I really just want to stress to people out there is just these little these that has been parroted among these communities, right or wrong in principle, but saying things like we own these accounts and that there's money in them and that you're paying for things is misunderstanding how this is all working. And saying the wrong thing can get you in trouble even if you're not doing the wrong thing. They're trust funds. If you are a trust fund baby, if you're the beneficiary of a trust, you would never say, well, that's mine. That's my account. It's the trust account. like a trust is something separate, and just like a corporation, it's a juristic person, an entity unto itself, which is why people use them. Because when you don't own something, you also don't own the liability that comes with that thing. So I really think, like, and I I have mixed feelings on movements. I think movements can be good when they're comprised of completely engaged, quote unquote, individuals. Take a bunch of people following 5 people who they're putting all their blind faith in, regardless of where they're being marched to, is when a movement can be a dangerous thing. So I really think the paramount thing people can do is study.
Yeah.
Study this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was looking in that chat, and that BT, whatever his name is, that guy who's always running his mouth, he's not wrong completely, but he's like just off enough to confuse people. Like he's right. Like ACH is a separate clearinghouse, just like the bank that is sending ACH something, and just like the Fed. The fact of the matter is, those are all bank-to-bank transactions. Whether you authorize them to go about their bank-to-bank transaction business is a different story, but that's the only way banks get authorized to transactions.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, him saying that there is no funds coming from that, he can't say that because that's totally incorrect. I've already proved that to be incorrect. Right. But I totally agree with what you're saying. It is very important, and that's why I've been saying, because there's been a lot of people, trying, saying leaders this and no, everybody has the potential to be their own leader, and everybody should be their own leader. That's why I've tried to encourage every single person. It doesn't matter if it's something that Heather said or Harvey said or Crypto said or I said or Gary said or Cindy said or Joe Blow from Idaho said. It doesn't matter. Always research exactly what you're saying. Make sure it's actually fact. Don't follow it on blind. Intentionally set out to cause harm. There's also a lot of people out there, and there's a lot of agents out there who are intentionally there to throw you off the real trail. So it's very important, and you don't want to follow somebody and get yourself in a pinch. It's one thing to be unified and have a movement full of leaders, everybody being their own leader in that movement, but you don't need to follow one person. You have the potential to do everything yourself. You have that. Every single
special forces.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that's great how the special forces work. Like the sniper is a medic, and the medic is a sniper, and the mechanic is all of us. Like everyone could pick up everyone else's position, even though someone might be naturally better at something. It doesn't excuse everyone involved in the matter for not being able to deal in that matter. And that's where I think the masses fall off, because my proof of that is because they don't. They only have to give it to you if they want to, or if they are forced to do it, which proves that nobody owes you anything, and you don't owe anyone anything. So with that in mind, it's true. You shouldn't be in all this crazy, ridiculous, hypothecated debt. But at the same time, you shouldn't be thinking you're owed now because you were sold this ruse to just sit around and collect. That's not the way it works either. Because all this stuff, I'll get a little philosophical here, but on this corporate, commercial, bullshit. It's natural law. It's correspondence. It's all of those. It's cause and effect. It's the law of exchange, and it's as within, so without, and focusing on how much we can't stand this crooked system, while doing everything we can to get something out of this crooked system, those two things are not going to relegate in the end. Either ride the wave or get off the wave. But
yeah,
I guess and I'll yield. I'm sure there's people out there.
No, I think that you said you had a lot of really good stuff to say, and that people need to hear that. They need to hear that they need to not be looking to any one person or group of people to lead them or solve the problems. We all have the capability, and we all need to be willing to put in the work and be willing to fact check for ourselves and to perpetuate where we want this to go. I mean, it's not my movement. It's not Harvey's movement. It's not any one person's movement here. This is your guys' movement. This is your blood, sweat, and tears just as much as anybody else's. And that's why I'm trying to become the voice of reason now here and say, instead of buy, use. I'm putting out information, but that's just all I'm doing is putting out information. I'm trying to educate and also help guide into finding your own inner strength and believing in yourselves, because you deserve to believe in yourselves.
If you don't believe in yourself, you're lost from the start. And that is where the schooling system has conditioned us. And I'm not I don't use that as an excuse, because listen to all of us. We're all products of that. But it couldn't stick. But it does teach you to go everywhere else, but within first. Check with everyone else to see if you're right before trusting that you actually feel like you're right. And that's a spell. That's magic. That's people are looking for hocus pocus magic you see on TV. But I've been in these courts and I've been studying this stuff and have had my share of little tests and victories, and it's magic we're working with. And like one of the callers, I think that was on a call last night, she hit it on the head. And as far as people talk about being a secured party, well, if you've gotten what it means to be a secure party, what you also know is that you get your remedy because it's in the private. It's on what everyone refers to as the private side. And everyone out there looking for proof is not going to find that proof they're looking for, because that proof's not going to be in the public, because all this proof revolves around basically going against the last clause in the 14th Amendment, which is no citizen shall call into question the public debt. And it all goes to that. And so all of this stuff in court, why they clear the court out, why they seal these cases, is because it's all based upon that the corporation is bankrupt. And when you accept an instrument and return it for value, because your signature, your pledge, and value, you're going to see that in the public. And no one who does all that goes through this stuff and puts in the due diligence is under any obligation to explain it to you, because deep down they know you won't get it in the first place because you didn't study to get it. You're going to go in and follow their steps, but if they try to traverse you and they happen to throw a question at you that wasn't in one of these steps you memorized, unless you had the know where to go after that.
Yeah.
And that's really like the whole thing about the secured party. It's private banking. It's handling things like without causing controversy in the public, which is what they do not want. They think that you're belligerent. You're like a public nuisance. You're making it's like this weird code. Even though they're screwed up, it is this kind of weird kind of code of ethics or rules or whatever. I won't think that's giving a little too much credit, but there are rules and there are principles. And when it comes to these institutions, like some of them do, when you get in there and do your thing and really stand on your square, respect the knowledge that you've come into and that you're standing on and how you present it, and you know, a lot of times you're treated accordingly, but not like with like some publicly dismissed. You're gonna say, oh, he was right. Or those laws, those statutes and codes aren't really law at all. They're just rules and regulations, or you know, prima facie evidence of the law. They're not going to say that, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and I really think that everyone out there looking for proof is, in a way, you know, too afraid to cowboy up themselves. Like, how much proof do you need? There's a lot of proof out there, but matter is you can follow the people that have proof, and if your spirit's not in this thing, it's not going to work for you. I'll smell that.
Right.
You know it.
Yeah, that's part of why I came up with this idea for this new video that I'm going to be doing, because it's going to wake up people, but it's also going to wake up the key people for now. I mean, I want this movement to benefit everybody in the end. I want, you know, everybody to be freed from the corruption and the crimes that have been committed. I really think that we can change that, and it's not to me. It's not about the money, but this new video is going to get the key people that are thinkers, and that's what we need right now. We need thinkers that are going to, you know, see something, and they're going to. It's not going to be a blueprint of how to go and use this account. It's going to expose this, and it's going to expose, you know, what has really transpired in all of this, and then those people are going to then want to go and investigate further, and that's what's going to end up happening. Hoping I can, you know, say it. To me, it's going to be a big video, and I think it's going to do a lot of good for the movement. I think I have some really good ideas for it. So you guys, it's going to take me probably a couple days, but it will be out, and I think it's going to be one that's going to be shared everywhere. So, but yeah, no, I totally agree. You got to have your spirit in it, and so. Yeah, I appreciate everything you had to say. That was all really good stuff that people really need to hear. So,
thank you.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add about?
Nah, I mean, I think I filibustered for long enough.
All right.
I appreciate the forum. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Thank you. Have a good night. All right, 513.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh yeah. I didn't catch the majority of the last person, so forgive me if I
Oh, you're good.
asked a question that he answered, but it was a gentleman on Earth News with all the errors and everything that's going on the reversals, and I wanted to know if anybody knew where at online could I type in these error codes, because I myself been getting limited participation as well as insufficient funds. So I would just like to be able to look up these codes, but I don't know where to look them up at. And then I have another question and also a testimony after.
Yeah, the codes. If you just go on Google and you type in you know, return codes, return payment codes, you should be able to find all kinds of you know, websites with the different codes. There are some listed on IUV also. That IUV website, they broke down some of the common ones. But yeah, that's that. You could access any of those. What's that?
What was that web?
Oh no, you were good. I was just about to ask you what you're.
Before we go there, you said the IVE website?
The IUV, that's the Heather Tucci website there.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to know that too.
That's one thing I'm hoping to add is some FAQ type stuff. I'm working on getting a website going too, and hopefully I'll be able to cover some of that kind of stuff there. But again, I'm trying to move more away from just simply looking at these accounts for them being accounts, and I'm trying to look at the bigger picture in it all. That's more of the direction I'm moving in.
Okay.
Just because there's so much information already out there on the accounts, and I think that, you know, you can't miss it. It's everywhere, and I don't want to you know, not focus on the really important aspects of this whole thing, because it doesn't seem like there's many people that were broadcasting that out there. So I just, to me, it was like a moral imperative, I guess you'd say, that I had to kind of shift that way.
Well, I kind of don't want to ask my next question.
What's that?
You had mentioned the forensics have been looking at a lot of information on it, and the difference between the GAAP, I believe, and a forensic audit. And what I came across, I just want to be corrected on this. From the time that you made contact with the debt collector or whatever, is it true that you have 10 days after you confirm the debt that you can request a forensic audit? Your opportunity to request a forensic audit?
Yeah, I believe there is a time stipulation. I'm not sure if it's the same time stipulation though for every area. I think that certain states have different laws which require them to give you a little bit more of a time frame. I think it goes state by state. I could be wrong on that, but I mean, I didn't really go looking into the time frames on it. That's, you know, just call up and say that you wanted a forensic audit, and even some of the companies that I've tried to, they try to say that they don't do that. I mean, they're going to try to delay the time. More or less, if you just ask them to send you in writing, you know, have a breakdown of what went in, what went out, what cleared, what didn't, proof, as soon as your transactions, then that should help you. I mean, I'm not like a financial expert or an attorney, so I mean, I know a good amount of information, but I'm not going to say I know everything, because there's always more to learn. So
I asked you because when I got a return on one of those accounts, it was a gentleman on earlier that mentioned how he went through the process where it was confirmed, and then later it was reversed, and he got the confirmation and the confirmation. That's the same thing that happened to me. But when I written account for it, they basically told me this is something that we don't do. Mind you, this account was for a sprint, and it was already in collections through a company called Convergence. And it was like, that's not something we do. I said, lawfully, you have to provide that for me. And she said, no, that's something we don't do because you had the check was returned for insufficient funds. But then the weirdest part about this whole thing was that going back into the process for me, it went from the account being active to the account processing. It took a few days of processing, and then I went back to the account and it said settle. And then days later, it came back and said account active again, and they put the full balance on there. And I'm just like, when do you ever settle an account before you actually got the funds? You know, so for you not to be able to put that in writing for me, I don't see how that's possible. And then the lady also mentioned this is something that I would have to confirm with my bank. And I'm just like, no,
burden you, the company, you know. So that's what made me dig deeper into if there's a statute of limitations on requesting a forensic audit, because tomorrow would be my 10th day if that's the case. And I don't think that I would be able to get the certified mail out in enough time if that is the case. So that was just something that
I think it would go off your postmark day though. I don't think it has to be there within 10 days. It goes off your postmark day.
Oh, okay.
Typically, when something like that, it's going to go off of the postmark day.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, then I'll work on that tomorrow. And then I wanted to just give a testimony again, and it's also kind of linked to that same account right there. I had, prior to this account, I tried to pay my gas and electric bill, and it was over $3,000, and the company does not accept payments over $1,000. So I broke it down in 3 payments, and after a while, I got the whole limited participation thing. And I listened to that call that you had with the guy who said call a third-party person or the third-party processing. So I did. I went through all, I identified the corporation and everything like that, and that was earlier today. And the lady said that that would be lifted within 7 days, and to try back, and there's no reason why I shouldn't go through at this time. As I verified that I was the only one that could authorize payments out of the account. And she did also say that the reason why it was like that is because there was no history of usage on the account to begin with, so they were not sure who was authorizing payments. They claimed that it should be lifted 7 days from now, and that I should try again. So I believe that it is pertaining to reversals and contacting a third-party processor. That may be a very good lead right there on how to get down, you know. So that was it for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's great information. And if tomorrow's 10th day, then I would get that out tomorrow with a postmark date, and hopefully you'll be in the clear there.
That's great. That's great. All righty. Well, thank you all. You have a blessed night, and I'm still listening, and everybody's doing a great job.
Thank you. You too. All right. Bye. Armani.
What's going on, Mike?
What's up, man? I know you've been waiting. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, so I missed the first part of the chat because I was on another conference call. I also wanted to let anybody know there's other conference calls too. So if they want to be a part of some more talks, Adam Cash hosts conference calls from time to time. So you can just message me and we'll give you the information. Some good information going on the calls. I just had a question regarding, I don't know if you've seen it, I made a post today on your page regarding the GMEI utility website. Did you get a chance to see it?
I didn't. What about GMEI?
Well, I heard it's been out for a while. It's new to me.
I did a video on it, yeah.
If you go in there and you punch in your
social
secret account number,
yeah.
I mean, I really don't have an understanding of it. That's why I'm kind of asking you guys. Look, there's a bunch of corporations, institutions
with accounts. I did a
trading
video.
on your account, not trading. I don't know the proper language. Huh?
Yeah, I actually have a video.
Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
I have a video of about it, GMEI.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, yeah. It's like around the same time as the Fidelity one.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's all I really wanted to ask you about was about that. If you maybe could give us a little bit of input on that. I see you have a video, but maybe for people that didn't see the video yet, you tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, GMEI, when you put in your social security number in GMEI, it'll pop up a bunch of different bonds, the different accounts that are basically traded by major corporations around the world to link to your social security number. You can also cross-check it with your QSIP number, but that's kind of hit or miss. Kind of like Fidelity, how you can do it, but the QSIP number.
Right, yeah, I punched in my QSIP and nothing popped up for me on that one.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's basically the same thing as Fidelity. It'll pop up, and then you can then write down the company's information if you really want to, and then you can look them up and get a hold of them and say, hey, you know, what's this account about? It's just more along the same lines. It just has more accounts.
Has anybody gone about doing that? Like,
I truthfully don't know. I know that there was a guy.
Also, nobody's really
I
really took any routes as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't yet because I'm just like there's so many other things I'm working on. I know with the Fidelity way, there's a guy who's had a video on YouTube for several years. I saw it, you know, a while back. And then I kind of was like, oh, okay, whatever. And I watched it, but then I really became interested in it, and that's why I ended up making my own video on it. He actually went and had Treasury Direct. Once he looked it up on Fidelity, then he got, I think it was Treasury Direct, he got a hold of, he filled out a form, and then they sent him, because it was a Treasury Direct bond that was in his name, or several of them. And
do you know the form you filled out? Was it 1048?
It was the one that searches. I don't know the exact form number. It was the one that searches for any bonds or certificates in your social security number. But from what I've understood of other people who have done that, since that time, because that video got, like, I don't know, I think it was several 100,000 views. There's other people that have tried to do that afterward and not had as much luck. They also took the search, they used to have, it's called bond treasury hunt, was up also for accounts in your name and number. And they took that down because there was way too many people finding their stuff on there. So you can still see it if you go on Treasury Direct, but it says it's unavailable, and it's been unavailable for a while.
Okay. All right. One more thing before I let you go. Me and a couple other people we're looking into the process dealing with the checks. And I know there's a couple other people that are interested in going that route. I just wanted to let people know, if they do decide to dabble in that, to be careful, because on Adam Kess's conference calls, we actually have a brother locked up right now for purchasing a car with a private or a certified check. And it was interesting situation with that, because it was almost like it was a setup, because they I forget exactly, I don't have all the details, you'd have to ask Adam about it, but he went to go purchase the car. I forget what type of negotiable instrument he was going to use, and they basically advised him at the dealership. And when he did come up and come pick up the car, and when he went to go pick it up, the cops were there waiting for him, and they arrested him at the time. So this brother is locked up. Sergio is his last name. I also posted that on your regarding that situation. So yeah, people are getting jammed up. So I just wanted to put people on notice about that, to be very careful and to make sure you know what you're doing. And he's well versed in what he's perfected his craft when it comes to the UCC and everything that he was trying to do. He knows what he was doing. So you got to really be careful. Even when you do know what you're doing, you can still get jammed up with these people because they're not playing by the rules. They don't even play by their own rules. So yeah, I just wanted to let people know that.
Definitely.
But yeah, I'm working on that process with a couple other people right now, and gonna keep you guys updated on how that goes. And I just also wanted to say a lot of people are real interested in purchases, and I wouldn't advise, if I had access any accounts or anything to do with the ACH method, just stick to discharging debt. Don't try to make purchases, go out there and buy cars and Amazon and all that. That's just perfect the discharging debt method before you try anything else. That's all I'd like to say in regards to that. Other than that, I appreciate you, brother. You're doing good things. People that are listening, I'd like to give a shout out to Deb. She's real diligent in what she's doing, and I appreciate what you're doing. Stick with it, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, and forward me that call information. I'll try to get on there.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so
Q&A session is over.
That's all the is finished. So now I'm gonna take some questions from you guys on the live stream here. We can have a little chat real quick. So as you guys know, if you got a question for me, just put a hashtag before. Let me just let these guys know real quick in the call, since we're
There are 11 participants in the conference.
okay, guys, on the call. Since I got
This session is no longer being recorded. Participants are muted,
okay,
and they
guys.
can unmute
I'm just
themselves. All
gonna say,
participants
since you guys
are muted, and they can unmute themselves. All participants are muted,
come on.
and they can unmute themselves.
Okay, guys in the call. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I guess the call's over. Nobody else had any more questions, so I'm gonna end the call and start answering some questions on the live stream. Thank you guys for getting on. You know. Cover that was personal in this week. To all you guys. Okay, hey, guys in the live stream, anybody got any questions? What about what Kiki on the other conference call was talking about? When was Kiki talking? All right, guys, if you got a direct question for me, just put a hashtag before what your question is, so I know it's for me. Hit the button too many times. About, yeah, I don't know. Stream. Yeah, if you guys have a question, then now I'm creatively inspired to get that video I was talking about that I think is going to make a very big difference. I did have some other things I wanted to talk about tonight, but of course it's getting, now it's late, kind of lost all that in my mind. A lot to absorb. Yeah, starting with a letter. What about it? She's after Vanessa saying go private, make payments private, not with routing numbers with AV4. Yeah, I mean, I've looked into AV4. I started researching AV4 a couple years back even, and I just never really got into it myself. I don't know if you guys know about Christopher Fleming, but Christopher Fleming got arrested quite a few times for AV4s, amongst other things, but I didn't block BT Stacker. I only blocked that that one guy because he's been literally commenting on like all my videos for the last couple of weeks, just saying some pretty nasty stuff. So I don't have time for negativity. Like I said, this everybody needs to be positive, going positive in this movement. Keep getting so that you heard so much. And I'm going to have another longer call. I don't know if I could do another 5-hour call, but I'll do a couple-hour call at least for you guys. So everybody can call in, get some of their thoughts and ideas out there. Is UCC filing good or bad? Not enough information to make a decision yet. Well, yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the other video, but I decided I have a spare bedroom here. I'm going to turn this into like a little studio. I'm going to be painting, making a green wall. Shit, this is kind of like how can I get I think that would be a very useful tool. But yeah, I'm going to turn this into a studio here. Be a little bit more secluded. The dogs won't be as noisy, and then I can make my green wall for production and start getting some stuff here so I can quality truth videos for you guys. No records. Was it Telecheck that was your third-party processor? Hashtag is the pound sign symbol thing. And they mentioned telecheck, and you called telecheck, and telecheck couldn't do what we talked about in that video. I was just, I haven't really got a chance to try it out myself yet, so it's still, I guess we'll call it beta testing right now. Yeah, we're all learning as we go. That's it. And I'm hoping that, you know, I'm hoping more people. I think that people have gotten a little bit, I want to say deterred maybe at the fact that I'm not focusing so much on the money side of it, but picture here. Like I said, if we end up getting all of our accounts anyway, the money's going to be worthless. It's even more so than it already is. But the cost of inflation will skyrocket. And it's going to just cause a crash. So I don't see how it's ever going to be where we can just, you know, have all of that money. Maybe that we could, you know, just utilize it for debts, and in which case that would be, you know, I don't see how we have full access to those accounts. Cash while that is running, and then we can utilize that to pay our debt. So then you would basically never have to worry about paying another bill again in your life. That, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing. But we need a reset. Truthfully, we need a reset, and we need to change, you know, what we've been dealing with for the last, I don't know, 100 and 200 years, however long. I'll check on me today. Routing number cleared 2 days ago. I'm not sure. You keep your spirits up when it's dangling right above your head and you can't reach it. I don't think I'm going to get any taller in this fight. I'm very confident that we'll win this fight. And how do I keep my spirits up and stay positive? Because I know that even if we don't have the money right now in our hands, okay, that every single day we're waking up new people. We're snapping them to the real reality. We're reaching people and totally changing their lives for the better. Me, ultimately, that is like the best thing, the best feeling, to know that we are reaching all those asleep people who had no, I should say, all those asleep men and women who had no clue what was going on. Giving them a totally different outlook on life, and then they're going to start appreciating what really matters. What do I think of Joanna? I really can't. I can't say anything about Joanna because I don't know her all that well. I haven't been sitting there looking into her. I mean, she's not really a big part of all this. I only focused what I did on like Cindy because she tried to claim a very, very, very dangerous situation brewing with that contract she was trying to get people to sign and everything. Wouldn't be inflation. It's accounted for. Yeah, but the problem is you know how we all are. I don't know. In day in life and giving you hope and allowed me to find all these blessed people. And that is positive. That movement still be thinking that the most important thing is shoes that they want to get next week, or you know, going out to the club and it's not all about materialistic items. It's about unity and coming together and standing against unjust, corrupt, satanic, evil forces. You know, it's a lot like the flat Earth movement. I mean, people that actually resonate with the flat Earth movement, they realize it's like you go from being an insignificant speck in a vast universe, you know, to okay, very, very important. We're put here for a reason. Birth. What does the certificate of live birth have to do with all of this? What's the difference between the Stop the Pirates and the Keys of Liberty approach? Not really sure what the difference between the two approaches are. I'd have to see both paperwork, both of their paperwork, and compare it. But certificate of live birth is basically that is their deed to you, in a sense. That's when you're numbered as cattle, and you're is created at birth. Your mother signs you over. She doesn't even know it. Any idea how long after death the ongoing bonds are? I'm not too sure. I don't know exactly. I know people have looked and found, you know, deceased loved ones stuff. I've been saying gold and silver is probably the way to go. I don't know about Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin can fall in the same regard. Silver and gold is always the safest. We all get paid, and corporations can hire unlimited employees, and work schedules can be 2 hours each. Postal money orders, gold bags, international postal money orders. International postal money orders, yeah. We will win. Yes, we will win. You're right. Materialistic people are dangerous. That they are. But you can't even deny it, because every one of us is materialistic in some way. You know, it's just a matter of the level of materialism that we are. But ultimately, we all are materialistic in some way or another. Up to stuff like this, it definitely changes what's valuable and what's important in your life. Good night, Timothy. LOL at 70s psyop called Flat Earth. I don't know about psyop. I wish weed dealers took ACH. Oh man. Postal is only backed by US dollars. Can this also work for student loans? Yes. Do you think credit cards will be canceled? Oh, I don't think you guys really have too much questions here. Let's see. Yeah, I think you guys seem pretty good. So it's late. I'm gonna end the live stream. I'm gonna go work on getting those Facebook groups, the community outreach ones, up and running, and emails, and working on my videos. As being here and you know, being here for the live stream. I'm gonna hopefully have some more of my history videos and that kind of stuff releasing tomorrow with some updates. And if you've emailed me, you should be expecting some return emails. I just didn't have a chance to go through them really today that much. I did some, but not much. And tomorrow I'll probably do a live stream earlier in the afternoon, and then I'll do another one in the evening. Yeah. So thank you guys. Remember, stay positive. We're moving in the right direction. Keep trying to share this with everybody that you know, and help wake them up. Help them get to experience the amazing thing that is the truth and being awake and aware. And that's probably the best gift you can give to anybody. Rick, to notify people yet. I'm hoping I'll get that going through the website once I get it going. They just posted a video on Heather Antucci. Have you seen it? Who did? You guys have a good night too. Who posted a video on Heather Antucci? I'm gonna see that first. Hey, who posted a video on Heather Antucci? What do you mean by that? The media? Cool guy. What? Yeah, was it the media though? Cool guy, or was it on YouTube? Oh, crypto news? No, it's the same stuff that I already covered earlier. You guys may not have been able to hear it in that choppy thing. Yeah, I that was what I was talking about earlier today. It was about the how it's unsealed. It's unsealed. It's there's another hearing on Friday. Yeah, on the live stream I did it like, I don't know, I think it was like 4 o'clock. I'll have to double check that live stream and see if it really was that messed up. If it was that messed up, then I'll take it down and I'll replace it with the video or what was in it. Armando, you were on the live stream earlier. Could you hear me explaining all that stuff about Heather? Jumble. Yeah, Allison, check out my playlists. I have a playlist that's it goes over the history of and who really owns our account. So I go into the creature, the owners, the Morgans. I go into the DuPonts and the Bushes. Yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to you guys earlier. Dent's on his channel. He started a new channel. I thought you knew that. He had a live stream going the same time I did here. He ended it now, but you guys can catch what you missed in it. Yeah, the creature from Jekyll Island is really good. I'm going to continue making those kind of videos though too. That's something that I haven't had a chance to, but that's one of the things I want to work on tomorrow is finish up a couple of those. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream, but I will have 2 live streams tomorrow. I'm going to have some videos going out tomorrow. If I know I have a lot of playlists there that I think would be really beneficial. I appreciate all your guys' support too. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to stay on vacation from work. I was trying to do it as stay on vacation for a little while, but I don't get paid vacation, so I'm going to have to obviously go back to work. Otherwise, I'm going to be hurting pretty soon. So, but I'm going to keep trying to get as much stuff as I can done before then, and then once I go back to work, I'll obviously still be putting out information. I just won't be able to put out as much. What's going on in the White House? A lot of movements, yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's a lot going on. That's why I have a strong feeling this week is going to be a big week, information-wise. I'm not saying it's all going to be positive news, but no fear, because we can make everything positive. We all have that power. I think that something's going to go down this week, though. I just have that feeling. Yeah, Allison, definitely check out my playlist then if you're green, and I'm gonna have some more stuff to help all you out that are freshly getting into all of this. That is my goal, is to educate you guys. So, all right, guys. You guys have a good night, and since this is recorded, so now you like, leave me your thoughts in the comments section down below. And most importantly, share. Get this information out. Make sure that all these other people still asleep get a chance to get woken up. Let them see that it's not all about the money. That this movement is something way more than that. All right. Much love, guys.